Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are starting the first in our time travel throwback series where we're going to be going back and looking at some shows that are still on or shows that have ended, and they feature predominantly same-sex female couples. So I'm starting out with one of the most iconic same-sex couples ever, and it's Callie and Arizona from Grey's Anatomy. And we're going to be looking at their episode where they, spoiler alert, actually break up. And it's the therapy session one. And I know this is a bit of a downer one because obviously they break up, but I really wanted to talk about the psychology aspect, as I know a lot of my viewers are interested in that. And also that's what I went to school for and worked in for a long time. I have my own business now, so I don't work in the medical field anymore, but I know that it's interesting to talk about. So we're gonna get right into it today. And as always, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. We're gonna be doing these about once a week, so there's gonna be some great content coming up. And if you're a fan of Callie and Arizona and would love to see them back on Grey's, make sure to leave a big thumbs up on the video and let me know down in the comment section. It just started absolutely lashing with rain, so I hope you guys can't hear that too badly. So we're gonna get right into today's episode.
We've been talking about having another baby for months. We were excited. We were discussing freaking names. Why would you do that?
I just don't understand why they're literally having like a screaming match and the therapist is just like sitting in the middle. Like, obviously this is a TV show and stuff, but they're probably in one of those places that has like other medical practices and probably other therapists, and they're just like literally screaming at each other.
Just to get my hopes
You're
up?
attacking me for something that I never even
I
said.
don't have to say anything. It's clear from everything that you do that you don't want this. Why start training all over again? You're an amazing pediatric surgeon. People cross the country just to have you operate on their
For the
kid.
last time. This fellowship is advancing my career.
Which is not advancing this family.
It's the moment in the OR when you turn to damage control.
Callie, actually, if I could stop you there, I'm interested to hear the rest of Arizona's sentence. Arizona?
Not all the
You were
other
going to
things she was
say.
saying.
You stop. You step back. You let the body rest and see if you can find a solution.
So the thing about like Arizona retraining and becoming, fetal surgeon, like obviously this is a huge amount of time, and like she's literally going back in her career to be, but it's not like she's going back like the way Ben went back to become a surgeon and you have to go back to be an intern and everything. Like, she's a fellow. And I just think that Callie is like really blowing it out of, like, she knows who she married. She knows that she married someone who is like a very accomplished person, and she is also a surgeon too. Like, it's not like she's, I don't know, like working part-time 4 hours a week somewhere. Like, she is also a surgeon. So and like there's always like something that she's going to be doing. Like, she's doing research and things, and it's not like she's just kicking back and doing like one surgery a week. So like no matter what, it was going to be like intense, and that's what being a surgeon is. And like, although for this amount of time she is going to be more intense with the fellowship, I think I should probably disclose here that I, as viewers of my channel will tell you about the L word, I'm an L word apologist, I'm a Bette Porter apologist, I'm also an Arizona Robbins apologist. And I think that it's not kind of pointed out enough that Callie really has this thing, and you don't notice it so much when you watch like episodically, like with weeks in between. But I normally go back and I have watched Grey's Anatomy since 2005 when it came out, and I normally go back every like couple of years and rewatch everything again. And Callie is one of those people that is never wrong. Like, I'm not saying she's a narcissist, but it is like a narcissistic trait where there is always an excuse for your behavior or why you did things. And I think as this episode goes on, like, you'll start to notice it, because it's like, yes, I'm not saying Arizona didn't do anything wrong, but like Callie always uses it, there's always a reason for what she's done, and it's very, very gaslighty. And there's a scene that I'll point out that is just like super, super, you know, gaslighty.
Arizona, you ready?
I love when you talk to a patient and it's like they're the only person in the whole world. I love you bite your lip, just a teeny bit. It's fairly noticeable when you study scans, and I find it really sexy. I
always find this so weird when they do this in therapy sessions in shows, because your therapy sessions are like precious minutes, and although I think it is important for them to point out like why they love each other and all these things, but they're here because they like viciously and aggressively want to save their marriage. And I think that they should be doing this sort of exercise in the real world, like go home and make a nice meal together and tell each other the things that you love about one another. Like, they don't ever show them going through any exercises, which is like therapy 101, like what people would be doing in this case, whereas this therapist is just like, just go on a break and don't talk to each other for 30 days. And the therapist acts like this is some like amazing magical, you know, dream gate is gonna open, and it's like gonna be like the Rain Man numbers all coming together, and they're gonna realize this is what she was trying to show us all along, when really, like, there is no magical yellow brick road that's going to solve their problems. And not talking to each other for 30 days, which I've never, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but like this, I've never, ever, ever seen this used in any type of medical setting whatsoever.
When you do the voices, when you read to Sophia at night and you make her laugh, and I could listen to that sound all day for the rest of my life. And you smile when you sleep, like big, crazy big. And I love that when I wake up, that's the first thing I see.
Like, Callie looks like she's about to cry there, and they're like, Arizona and the therapist are just like, Arizona would, this is her wife, like she would be like, what's okay, like you don't seem to be enjoying what I'm saying to you, and these are supposed to be compliments. And then the therapist is just like,
see, why aren't you just, God.
Callie, do you want to talk about how Arizona's words make you feel?
Well, it's just, I
no one speaks like that, like,
if you just say this stuff out loud once in a while.
I would. If you'd let me.
Wait, what?
I was just saying them right now, and then you cut me off. I mean, you're too busy trying to speak for me.
Okay. Remember the language we talked about using with each other.
I feel that you're always cutting me.
Well, I feel that you're
she's cutting her off right now.
constantly accusing me.
I feel that you just did that again.
She just did it again. Let's try again.
I feel that you should go with primary.
I feel the artery is missing too large a piece. We'll do an interposition graft.
Well, you agreed with me in pre-op.
Yeah, well, I changed my mind once I got in here and saw the extent of the defect.
I mean, sometimes they make this like I feel statements or I statements. They do it in a way that like you're not using it correctly. You're just using it to say whatever you want and to like attack the other person, or it's just, yeah, I think TV shows like fall into this trope a lot where they're like, I feel as though, and then like horrible statement, you know, or a passive aggressive statement.
Finished ligating the bleeders, so we're all set up here.
Yeah, and I don't see any more bone fragments, Dr. Torres. So.
When you so quickly disregard my medical opinion, it makes me feel like you forget that I'm a pediatric surgeon who knows that interpositional grafts can cause complications in children.
Well, when you question me in the OR, it makes me feel like you don't think I can do my job. We'll use a PTFE
Can
graft.
you imagine if you worked in this hospital and you were dealing with these people? I'd be like, oh my god, these lesbians and the drama. But then again, like, oh my god, look at all the straight drama that's going on in there. It's, yeah.
It's not about the leg. It was never about the... It goes way before the leg.
4 years ago, I received the grant of a lifetime. Going to Africa, working in that clinic, that was an opportunity that I never...
See, the thing with, like, Africa, that never got resolved, or they never, like, talked through anything. It was just buried. And, you know, when Arizona came back and Callie was pregnant, it was like, oh, and then obviously, you know, everything with the car crash, and they were kind of just building on top of things that they hadn't even resolved. And I feel as though that's why the Africa thing was just constantly there and waiting to explode, because Arizona obviously still resents or has some festering like feeling about it, and then all these other things come along that just are constantly Callie making decisions for herself, and Arizona just has to like go along with it because she wants to be with Callie. Like, coming back from Africa, Sophia, and then I feel as, this is my own thoughts, that I feel as though the leg was symbolic of all those things. That was Callie making a decision that completely affected Arizona's life, and she did it by herself. I mean, obviously it's a horrible situation and Callie like saved her life, but to Arizona, she's looking at it as though you made this huge decision without me, which is what you've been doing our entire relationship.
Thought that I would get.
You followed your dream, you went.
But you were supposed to go with me, and you were miserable and letting everyone know about it. And so I went without you, and then I came back for you. I came back for you. And when I came back, you were
Pregnant? I'm bisexual. I'm attracted to both men and women, and it freaks her out.
In case you didn't know what bisexual was, like, which actually this therapist may not, because she just doesn't seem to know anything of what's going on, and she's just like blankly staring at them. So
yes, I slept with Mark. I got pregnant. I was pregnant, and
I had no time to process it.
Yeah.
I was so in love with you. I just wanted to be with you no matter what. And if in order to be with you...
If you're about to say what I think you're about to say...
Let me get a word in, Callie.
I trapped you into a kid you never wanted, and now you're stuck.
Don't you ever say...
Screaming. Like, absolutely screaming in medical office. Can you imagine if you're sitting in the waiting room and you hear this?
that I don't love my child, or that I regret my child. I regret that you made a decision for me. You make all the choices. And every time that I try to make a decision for myself, it's like you make me feel like the worst, most selfish person in the whole world.
I'm sorry. Did I make you feel selfish when you decided to sleep with another woman?
This is what I was talking about. Did Arizona absolutely do something stupid and awful and hurtful and just bad? Yes. But how is that relevant to what they're talking about? It's like, Callie, this is absolutely 101 gaslight the shit out of someone, because Arizona is trying to explain to Callie how she feels about decisions being made for her, and obviously she had a huge reaction to Callie basically saying oh, you resent your kid, and Callie's like, oh well, you slept with someone. It's like she can do no wrong, and because she said something incredibly hurtful and stuff, she's like, well, it's because of this. This is just bad news bears.
I'm so sorry.
That's not what I meant. And you know that's not what I meant.
Because it's immediately shutting Arizona down, like, and absolutely just like jabbing the knife, and like, what can she say? There's nothing she, like, now she just feels small and hurt, and her feelings are just forgotten about again, because it's like that trumps everything.
And you know that's not what I meant. I meant that any time that I try and do something for myself, you just...
And now she's leaving.
Callie, the session's not done yet.
Feels pretty done.
I mean, Callie here is behaving like a narcissist, because it's that I can do no wrong. There's an excuse or a reason for everything that I've done. It's never my fault. And when there's a situation where they can't excuse or whatever themselves out of the situation, they will immediately leave and remove themselves from the situation because they just can't cope. There's a doctor on YouTube, I can't remember her full name, it's like Dr. Romani, and she talks all about like her whole channel is about narcissistic personality types and narcissists, and she talks about that a lot, like how narcissists manipulate people with, you know, making excuses for their actions and things.
Done is everything that you've asked me to do. You asked me not to leave you after the plane crash. I didn't. You wanted me to stay after you cheated on me. I did. Then you wanted a house.
But like, I don't understand why they're screaming at each other.
We got it. I do everything for you, Arizona, because I love you.
I love you too.
Well, and now we're here, and I want something, and you can't give it to me. You won't give it to me.
I never said that I didn't want a baby. The whole reason that we're here is because of you and what you want. I am trying to give you what you want, but you make it so hard.
Why can't you commit to anything?
I've committed the past 5 years of my life to you.
We're not getting anywhere.
No fucking shit.
We've circled right back to where we started. It may be time to hit the reset button.
Great. Let's reset. How?
Have you ever considered spending some time apart? Because a break can actually...
A separation? No. I'm trying to save our marriage, not destroy it. I don't want to do that.
Again, I have never ever heard of this before. I've asked a lot of other doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, professionals, like therapists, everybody I know, and no one I know has ever heard of this. So I'm sure there is someone out there who uses this technique, and I think it's obviously like they've made it up for the show. And also, like, a lot of the time they always talk about how they do all this research for Grays, but then you see all these doctors, like surgeons and stuff, on YouTube reacting to the medical stuff, saying this isn't real, this isn't real. So I understand they do a lot of research to make it as accurate as it can be on television, because obviously, like, they're gonna increase the drama, and like, if it means changing a few little things, then of course they're gonna do that.
Don't think of it as a separation. You two have gone through so much. You're completely different people than when you first got together. It can be helpful to rediscover who you are.
See, I really disagree when people say this, or when a lot of the time on TV and movies, they're always like, you're a different person. Oh, people change, all this stuff. And I can't remember what the quote is from, but it's like, people can change, but they rarely do. And that is honestly the truth, because I really think that you are who you are. You can improve, or you can like unimprove, I guess, but you can improve yourself 10, 20, 50%, but the bare kind of bones of who you are is that. And people can change, but it is very, very rare. And I think that you can work on yourself and improve. And like, I certainly like to think that in the past 10 years, like, I've worked on myself and improved, but at my core, like, I'm still who I am. Like they are still who they are at their very core. Like, Arizona and Callie are both good people. And I mean, especially like Arizona, I think is the epitome of a very, you know, happy, nice person. Like, that's just a way to put it. And yes, she had this blip when like a very traumatic thing happened to her, and then, you know, the repercussions of that, and cheating on Callie, like, those were awful decisions that she made, and she was like went through an incredibly traumatic thing, but at her core she's still a good person. And yes, there are, like, these people have gone through insane amounts of things, like car crashes, plane crashes, shootings, like, you know, it's wild. And how many of their colleagues and friends are unalive. But I do really think that they are who they are at their core, and they need to just work on things. And, you know, in my head, I do like to think that they are off in New York having worked on things and are happy together, because the people they are at their core are capable of being together and happy. They just needed to tweak the circumstances and work on things, because they do love each other. And, you know, I would be really disappointed if we never saw them back on Grey's, and I would love to get that confirmation that they are happily ever after. And it is an absolute travesty that Jessica Capshaw was, you know, her contract wasn't renewed, and I still hold that against Grey's to this very day.
Take a break from one another.
Break, separation's the same thing. It's the first step to divorce.
That's what you want.
That's what you finish.
Look, in my experience, couples come to therapy for one of two reasons. Either one person wants out of the relationship and they need help telling the other, or they both desperately want to make it work. They want to fight to make it work.
Well, we want to make it work, right? Right.
And a break is not an end. A break is a tool to help.
Like, Arizona clearly had some sort of reaction there, and Callie is obviously like realizing the reaction, and they just like Callie's face right now, and they're just carrying on like nothing like, you need to talk about this. You need to literally be like, what is the end goal here? What do you want to be together? I mean, you really need to sit down and define your goals and where you want to go with this. Like, we want to resolve this relationship. We want to work past this. We want to this, not just be like, yeah, right. Like, lunacy.
Make it work for an agreed upon time, and then we come together and reevaluate the relationship.
No, I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's crazy. I'm sorry, I do. I mean, we're supposed to be getting closer, so what, we need more space? No, we need more time together, not apart. That's how you make things work, right? No break, right?
See, now it's like the therapists in Arizona are like a team together, and then Callie's like by herself. So Callie's gonna have some sort of like wall up now. And here now it looks like Arizona's making the decision, because Callie is so against having a break.
We decide that now.
Okay, 30 days?
30 days, a month? You need a break from me for a whole month?
Arizona, you want to say something? Now is the time.
Callie, I was trying to be nice. I don't even think that'd be enough. I mean, if I thought you'd go for it, maybe 3 months, 6 months.
Oh my God, 6 months?
I'm trying to be honest.
See, that's why, like, Arizona shouldn't be like, oh, a month. Like, there has to be some sort of, like, they should be getting as well, like, a guideline from the therapist, because, like, Arizona's not some therapy expert that knows, oh, a break usually lasts X amount of time. Like, if we lived in a world where this type of thing was normal, then she would have like past clients, and she would be able to say, oh, my last 10 clients, the average was 30 days, but my last 2 couples did 60 days or whatever. Like, not just randomly being like, you can't just it's just
I want to say this, but the only way that I know how to do this is by being honest.
This feels like a joke. Or a reality show. The Real Lesbian Housewives MD of Seattle.
I would watch that.
Fine, 30 days. How does it work?
You have a child. So, for her sake, you two will live in the house as parents, but with separate lives, separate rooms. Boundaries are vital. Make a schedule for childcare responsibilities and stick to it.
They also work in the same hospital, in the same like surgery, like they're both surgeons. They mention nothing about what, like, there's a lot of cases that would be, I mean, I guess Arizona's like working in like fetal medicine, but there's gonna be like, I don't know, if there's a big accident, like it's all hands on deck, like all the surgery, you know, it doesn't matter if you're like what specialty you're in, if there's a big incident, which it's fucking Grey's Anatomy, there's a big incident every other bloody week.
No talking. No communication except in emergencies. Lastly, this is important, no intimacy, no sex. With other people or with each other.
Watching this episode has made me miss Kepner and Arizona's friendship and Callie and Meredith's friendship. And I just feel like that is really missing from Grey's at the moment, because there's not, I don't know, I feel like right now, maybe it's because of the past season, it was all the COVID stuff, that, I don't know, there's just not that strong female friendship. Like, I know it was like there wasn't tons of it when these seasons were on, but last week when Amelia and Addison were together and stuff too, I remember thinking that as well. Break those rules. Just makes me miss them.
So you broke the rules?
No, we stopped. We didn't have sex. We kissed and somehow stopped. I mean, she'd had that big surgery with Dr. Herman that day, and all I wanted to do was ask her how it went. We didn't have sex.
Close enough.
Say close.
So what happens now?
In order for this to work, you have to follow the rules for the full 30 days.
You don't mean it.
Pretty excessive.
We broke the rules. Again.
So you had sex?
No. When she didn't come home, I thought that she was sleeping with someone else, which is...
You jealous?
And also, the idea really, really bugged me. And then when I thought, well, if she's not doing that, then what if she's not okay? Because... And I know it's none of my business, but there's Sophia. And so, you know, if something were to happen to you, I wouldn't know where you were or who you were with. I was here. Don't. Okay, because I searched the call records for your name. Oh, so you stalked me. I was worried. I was at dinner with Gray. We came up with a fix for a patient, and we came back here to work on it. With Meredith? Yes. What? What, you think something happened? I was with Meredith Gray, and suddenly it was 3 a.m. I didn't want to drive home, so I slept in an on-call room. She was jealous.
See, they should have had this conversation, because if they didn't, Arizona would be like harboring this jealousy and not knowing if Callie was with someone, and like she would be torturing herself. Whereas having this conversation, there's a reasonable explanation for where Callie was, and Callie has realized Arizona was jealous. Like, if you don't care about your relationship, you're not going to be jealous. So this conversation was needed and it helpful. Like, this is why this thing is so stupid, to have them not talk for 30 days but still live in the same house and also be around each other at work and be like in each other's orbits, and to know things about, oh, she has this surgery and things like that. Like, it still, to me, it makes no sense.
Like, irrationally, obviously jealous. Do you know how that feels to have someone be jealous? And
the therapist is...
be worried that you're cheating? It feels nice.
Well, it's not the healthiest.
No. I just mean she was worried about me. She cared.
The therapist is looking at her like, oh, you like that she's jealous. Like, it feels good. Like, of course she feel like, and especially it now, like their relationship, and she's obviously, they've been going through like a really bad time in their relationship. Of course she feels good that Arizona was jealous. Like, she's a human fucking being. I miss them. I miss them so much. Please come back on Grey's. Okay, so this is the big end finale.
Make us stronger, to make us better. And it did. I mean, I feel like it really did. It took a long time. And it was painful and it sucked. But we've come a long way. And I know that we have further to go, but I love you, Calliope. I love you. Life without you terrifies me. And the world is just making less and less sense. And, like, I don't even know.
This therapist, I swear, this woman is like sleeping on the job, because Callie is clearly having an upsetting bad reaction. Like, if she was crying because she's happy, or just like crying because of what Arizona's saying, like in a good way, that is not the reaction she's having. And the therapist is saying that, like, nothing. Like, she should be saying, Callie, like, how is what Arizona's saying, how is that affecting you? Like, how are you feeling? Like, you seem to be very upset by what Arizona is saying. Like, please elaborate, do something. Like, ugh.
Not what I'm doing at work anymore, but the thing that I need is my anchor. It's you. I need you. And you're the only thing that I will ever need. And I'm so glad that this break is over.
Oh, Arizona. Are we ready for the, like,
last 30 days?
Now, this last 2 minutes or whatever this episode is probably the 2 minutes that I hate the most of the entire 18 goddamn years that I have watched this frigging show, and it upsets me.
Have taught me so much. All I wanted when we first came here was to know that we would leave together. But from the minute I sat down, I could feel it. I felt like I was going to be suffocated. The last several weeks, I have laughed more. I have done more. I've enjoyed myself more than and I finally feel free.
Ugh.
And by being free, I can see now that constantly trying to fix us is the thing that's been killing me slowly.
The one thing I will say about the scene is they are both magnificent in it. Like, Sarah and Jessica in this scene are both just like amazing, because obviously Sarah has the dialogue the most in this part, and clearly they're like being awesome and you can feel everything that they're saying. But even though Jessica Capshaw doesn't have really any dialogue here, like, her reactions and everything are just brilliant. Like, I think that both of them are two of the strongest actors on Grey's, and also why it is such a travesty that they both haven't been back and that Jessica Capshaw's contract wasn't renewed. But this is one of the scenes that they are just so great in, and it's because they know their characters so well too. And also it's a testament to their chemistry together as well, that even when it's a scene that's very emotional and like a sad scene, like you can feel their chemistry just as well in a scene like this as opposed to, you know, like a positive scene.
And I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to fix it or fix us anymore.
The therapist is just like,
Hard.
sorry sis.
I should be myself for a while. I should love me. And you should love you. And together we love Sophia rather than...
Arizona's like fucking devastated.
I want so much for you, Arizona. For both of us. So much more than this. More than being stuck with someone who feels stuck. I want you to feel free too.
Can't handle it. Oh, Arizona!
But no matter how hard we try,
you, therapist.
We have to realize
Oh, I cannot handle Arizona's face.
some things just can't be fixed.
Devastating. Devastating. And this episode was 7 years ago, I think. And I'm still not over it. So that was Callie and Arizona's scenes from their therapy session. It is episode 5 of season 11 of Grey's Anatomy, in case that you want to go back and watch it. I am going to go back and watch some good Callie and Arizona episodes to lift my spirits, and we will definitely be going back to some really good episodes of Callie and Arizona. I mean, obviously it goes without saying, I'll be doing like the episode where they meet and like they start going out, the Africa coming back and forth, and their wedding and all the drama there and the plane crash and everything like that. So I'm really excited to cover some of the big Callie and Arizona episodes. And as I said, I will also be dropping in some other shows like Orange is the New Black. I was thinking about doing even older ones like Buffy. So if you have any suggestions for good couples or even just like good lesbian characters to cover, leave them down in the comments section. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see Callie and Arizona back on Grey's Anatomy, and if you think they're happily living in New York, leave a big thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to follow me over on all the social medias. I post lots of content over there as well. I have Patreon, a merch store, TikTok, all those things. And you can get all the information on any of those things down in the description box. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. So make sure to come back very soon. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.